So my name's Alice Mantle and I'm a solicitor at Mishcon de Reya. I specialise in family law and I'm a founding member of our surrogacy and modern families group. The law on surrogacy varies greatly across the world, and a lot of our clients at Mishcon are international or choose to undergo international surrogacy arrangements. So here, surrogacy is legal. Since 1990, parental orders have been made to bestow legal parenthood on the intended parents and to end the surrogate's legal relationship with the child. Unless and until a parental order is made, the surrogate will be the child's legal mother in this country. And that's regardless of the country, of the law of the country or the state where the surrogacy took place. So for example, in California, you can get pre-birth orders and they confer parenthood before the child is born. But those parents still need to obtain a parental order when they return to England. So here, surrogacy is legal. Since 1990, parental orders have been made to bestow legal parenthood on the intended parents and to end the surrogate's legal relationship with the child. Unless and until a parental order is made, the surrogate will be the child's legal mother in this country. And that's regardless of the country, of the law of the country or the state where the surrogacy took place. So for example, in California, you can get pre-birth orders and they confer parenthood before the child is born. But those parents still need to obtain a parental order when they return to England. And the law has developed a little. So in 2010, it became possible for same-sex parents to apply for parental orders. So right now, there are various requirements for obtaining a parental order. For example, there must be a genetic link between the child and at least one of the intended parents. Now, the Law Commission proposed that this requirement be removed in cases of medical necessity, but only in domestic surrogacy, that is, surrogacy taking place here, because they were worried that if they allowed that exception in international surrogacy cases, then there'd be an increased risk of child trafficking. So the application should be made before the child reaches 6 months. But this requirement is not strictly enforced at all. Recently, an order was made for a 24-year-old child because the parents hadn't been aware of the need to obtain a parental order after they had a surrogacy in America. So the child's home must be with the intended parents, and at least one of the intended parents must be domiciled here. Again, the Law Commission have looked at this requirement. The domicile requirement is sometimes an issue for our international clients, and so it's hoped that the law might change to only require habitual residence rather than domicile. The surrogate must give her informed consent freely and unconditionally, and her spouse or civil partner must also give consent, which can seem slightly archaic. The consent has to be given 6 weeks post-birth, and the only exceptions if the surrogate can't be found or is unable to give her consent. Payments have been made. If these are over and above reasonable expenses, then the court has to be asked to retrospectively authorise these payments. And that's because commercial surrogacy isn't permitted in this jurisdiction. And there isn't a statutory definition of what's reasonable in terms of expenses, but the average payment to a UK surrogate is around £15,000. But obviously there's a lot of variation in that. And obviously there are quite a lot of requirements for a parental order. So in some cases they can't be made, but then there are alternative routes for intended parents. None of these are perfect, but they are options. For example, the child could be adopted, or there could be what's called a child arrangements order, which deals with where the child lives, and it confers parental responsibility, which isn't legal parenthood, but it does entail the right for the parents to make decisions for the child's upbringing. And it's obviously a relatively complex area of law, so it's really important for people to take legal advice when they're embarking on a surrogacy journey, so that there can be kind of fewer surprises along the way, on the legal side of things at least. So, if intended parents are travelling abroad for a surrogacy arrangement, there can sometimes be issues with bringing the child home. So we, as I said, we work very closely with our immigration team to make sure that can run as smoothly as possible. And actually recently we worked with them on a Ukrainian surrogacy matter, and our immigration team managed to help get the parents and the baby out of Ukraine after the war started.